A 4-ton stone vanished from Wales, only to reappear on a lonely English plain. In this video you'll see the hidden routes, the daring methods, and the moment those massive rocks finally stood upright at Stonehenge. Watch the dramatic reenactment of Neolithic workers pulling a bluestone across a mist-filled riverbank. A solitary bluestone, weighing as much as a small car, disappears from the remote Preseli Hills, only to surface centuries later at the heart of England's most enigmatic monument. How could a people without wheels or iron move such a monolith? First, we travel back to 3100 BC, when a simple earthwork, just a circular ditch and bank, marked the spot that would become Stonehenge. The ditch was cut, the bank raised, and a ring of 56 timber posts was planted, hinting at a community ready to organize. But the real story begins when the first bluestones arrive. Radiocarbon dates place them between 2400 and 2200 BC, yet the mystery is how they traveled over 185 miles of rugged terrain and river valleys. One theory suggests massive wooden sledges dragged over greased tracks. Imagine dozens of workers, ropes taut, pulling a stone the size of a small house across a frozen landscape. Yet, excavations near the River Avon reveal a different clue, a series of timber platforms and a possible waterway that could have floated the stones downstream, turning the river into a prehistoric highway. And then, a surprise, a 2015 study found wear patterns on the bluestones consistent with rolling on wooden rollers, not sledges. Could the builders have combined rollers with river barges, switching methods as the terrain demanded? The logistics don't stop at transport. Once the stones reached the plain, they were lifted onto massive stone sockets using earthen ramps and levers, a feat that required precise coordination and a shared vision. But why invest so much effort? Recent DNA analysis of cremated remains shows that the people buried at Stonehenge were from a wide region, suggesting the monument was a unifying pilgrimage site, not just a local tomb. The climax arrives at midsummer 2600 BC, the final sarsen trilithons are raised, their lintels fitting perfectly with mortise and tenon joints, an engineering marvel that still baffles modern architects. Yet, as the sun hit the stones, a hidden inscription, tiny scratches on a lintel, was discovered centuries later, hinting at a possible ceremonial calendar encoded in the layout. The mystery deepens. Why align the monument so precisely with solstices when the builders could have simply built a burial mound? Some argue the alignment was a social contract, binding distant groups to a shared cosmology. And then, a twist, a 2022 geophysical survey uncovered a previously unknown ditch extending westward, possibly a processional avenue linking Stonehenge to Durrington Walls, another massive henge. If the avenue existed, the stones may have been moved in stages, first to a temporary staging area, then marched in a grand procession, turning transport into ritual. All these clues converge on one undeniable truth: the Neolithic people orchestrated a supply chain rivaling modern projects, coordinating labor, resources, and knowledge across generations. So the question remains, what drove them? Was it power, faith, or the need to bind scattered tribes into a single identity? The answer may be as elusive as the stones themselves. The legacy endures. Today, engineers study Stonehenge joints to inspire sustainable construction, and societies look to its story for proof that collaboration can move mountains, literally. Stonehenge reminds us that when people unite around a common purpose, even the impossible becomes possible. If you're fascinated by the hidden logistics of ancient wonders, hit subscribe, ring the bell, and join us for the next deep dive mystery.